Hello there. I'm on my porch. Not for the sake of variety like yesterday, but mainly just because, I don't know, I felt like doing it out here. You know, it is funny though, I do feel like potentially I'm gonna end up exhausting my variety of locations, like, a little bit early in the game, just because, I don't really, the amount of, um, the amount of occasions that I'm somewhere that's not here at my parents' house, in like at school or in a motor vehicle is somewhat few and far between, which is a little embarrassing to admit, but I mean it is kind of appropriate just because embarrassment is sort of the theme of today's video. Actually, usually we don't really have a theme, or at least not an established one. It's just kind of for the rambling videos at least. It's just kind of like whatever the hell comes to mind. And it was funny because I almost didn't think I was gonna make a ramble today just because I put the Let's Play up already, so I felt like perhaps I've already expunged all of the rambliness from my brain. But after I got done recording that, I ended up thinking to myself about I think it actually, no, it wasn't that. It was after I finished recording the the video that I literally titled "This Video Is Not Good," which don't look for it, by the way. It really is not. The Speaking of that, I know I'm getting on like a tangent from my original tangent, but I almost feel like the video, I'm not sure if it will, but like I didn't post it on any social media because I'm really not proud of it, but like I uploaded it for nostalgia's sake. But, like, I almost feel like for the by the principle of like reverse psychology, maybe it'll do more well than my other videos, just because like it's kind of like this reverse psychology kind of thing. Like they're gonna be like, well, why isn't it good? Like they're gonna click on it anyway. But then again, I also feel like maybe the Shadow of War video will end up doing well just because the game's new and new things like trending topics, and YouTube is ruled by the current trends. But regardless, what was I honestly talking about? Oh right, the embarrassingness. So after watching the video and thinking back to my middle school days, which you know how that is, I remember kind of an embarrassing memory that I had from, I want to say, a club that I was part of. I don't even remember what the club was for. It wasn't the robotics club. I'd originally, when I was recalling it, I thought that was, but then no, it was definitely a different crowd of people that I was doing this with. But I think it might have been like a science, design squad. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure, but I believe so. Anyway, so the science teacher was running it, and I just remember we ended up doing this kind of like, I guess it was like a team bonding experience sort of thing, where it was like charades pretty much. Like we had a prompt, and then we had to deliver this prompt via gesture somehow to the other people in the group. Now, and of course there were teams and stuff like that, and whoever guessed it better, I think, like, was the winner. There were points awarded. I don't remember exactly, but so it ended up getting to me, and my prompt was I had to use gestures to indicate that I was Miley Cyrus. Or was it Miley Cyrus, or was it? It was some female celebrity. And the problem with this prompt was that I'm not very well learned on pop culture. Like that's not an area that I have a particular amount of expertise in. So right off the bat, I was like, okay, fuck, I got screwed over on this one. But so I was thinking like, okay, well, she's a celebrity and she's a singer. So like, what do I know about celebrities and singers, like university? I'm like, well, they sing and they have microphones, right? They sing into a microphone. So this is the gesture I end up doing. I'll demonstrate here. So I grab the microphone because you're really rocking out, right? You're holding the microphone with two hands, and then you're singing into it, but I can't say anything because it's a gestures game. So I'm going like mouthing lyrics, and it's not any specific lyrics either, because obviously I don't know any of her songs, but you see how that gesture may have been construed. Now I just realized, like, if I end up getting any sort of fan base, there might end up being literally a gif of me sucking an imaginary cock on the internet at some point. And just for the record, I'm almost inviting you at this point, actually, if you would like to create that gif, go ahead, honestly, because I will probably find it somewhat amusing myself. But so yeah, I just remember they start snickering, and I don't really understand at first, because like somehow I haven't put it together what it looks like I'm doing. And then I hear like some of the comments, like some of the murmurings going on from the crowd, and I'm like, oh shit. So like I don't know, like I feel like looking back on it, like it seems kind of funny now, but like at the time, like it's not even the worst thing ever, to be honest. But like it was such an awkward thing. Like I was even more uncomfortable with people back then than I am now. Like now I've gotten used to it a little bit, but like I was just mortified. I remember I got really mad at the one guy because there was this one guy who seemed like he was making like kind of the majority of the jokes surrounding it. And, like he was like he was the ringleader, I guess, of the making fun of me party. So I literally, you know what, I turned to this man, or this child, I guess. He wasn't really a man at that point, I guess. But I turned to this child and I go, "Your mom's a whore." That is literally that is what me as a middle schooler. I guess that was just what I felt was the appropriate retaliation. And the funny thing too is the teacher overseeing this heard me say that, and like he didn't even really give a shit. He was just like, "Well, that's not very nice." But yeah, I don't know if there was much of a point to that story as much as just like A, for you guys to get a laugh out of it, and B, because I almost feel like maybe if I tell these kind of stories, that like maybe when I look back on them I won't cringe as much internally, like if I just get it out and like get it off my chest or out of my chest. We probably shouldn't be talking about my chest and getting things off if we after that story that I just gave you guys. But so yeah, other than that, I guess this is a little different than how the ramblings usually go, because usually it's just me talking about my day, but that's more like me talking about my day like several years ago. But I guess other than that, just the recording went pretty well, and I actually haven't gotten to work on the script yet. Interestingly enough, I've been procrastinating. Although I did work on it last night because I got like kind of this like flash of inspiration, I guess. Isn't that interesting? You know, I feel like this is another one of those topics that's been done to death. But as I've said previously, there pretty much isn't anything you can talk about that hasn't already been talked about. I feel like you usually get the biggest flash of inspiration when you're doing something completely unrelated to the thing that you're like trying to figure out. Like you're trying to just generate ideas with all of your being for this one thing because you need it to be good. You want it to be good. You care about it. And then like all of a sudden something else happens that like just diverts your attention from it. And you're not thinking about that anymore. And then all of a sudden like just randomly like, oh fuck, I know what I need to do for that. Like it's the craziest thing. I guess I don't know, maybe it's like easier for the brain to be creative somehow when it's not actively trying to be. Like it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like, I guess, like when you're playing like Skyrim or some other RPG kind of game. It's like whenever you're looking for an item, like it's just never fucking there, and then all of a sudden like you forget about it, or like you finally like you craft the item, or you just like buy it from somewhere, and then all of a sudden it's like everywhere. Like it's the worst fucking thing. I almost feel like they program it like that's purposefully, and I don't know how that would be possible, considering they would literally have to read your mind and your intentions. But anyone who plays those kind of games will understand what I'm talking about. It's insane. But yeah. Also, sorry if speaking of the Shadow of War video, like, well, I talked about that earlier. But sorry if the audio quality was a little weird. I'd actually intended to get a lapel mic for that. I have a lapel mic. I was gonna use that for the audio. But the problem with that was that I needed an adapter to connect it to my phone, and I actually didn't have the well, we were trying to go to Radio Shack to get it, but then they didn't have it in stock, so then they ordered it, but it's not going to get to me until Monday. So, it's possible even, I guess I could, I know I said I was going to do the next Shadow of War video to tomorrow, but I could wait until Monday, and then, I'd have the better mic for that. I don't know, I'll have to see. To be fair, if you guys ask me to, like, series that shit, then I guess it won't matter anyway, because I'll have it eventually. But, regardless, be sure to like if you did, and, subscribe for obvious reasons. And, yeah, see you tomorrow, I guess.